अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज का वीडियो पूरा हिंदी और इंग्लिश में होगा मेरे सीजेपी वाले प्रोटेस्टर भाई लोगों के लिए। तो मैंने नोट ले लिया है जो मैं बात करना चाहता हूँ उस टॉपिक पर। मेरे बात बहुत ध्यान से सुनना क्योंकि मैं बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक में बात करने जा रहा हूँ। ये लाइफ चेंजिंग टॉपिक हो सकती है सीजेपी वालों के लिए, क्योंकि अगर आप रुक गए तो बीजेपी तुम्हें फिर कभी खड़ा नहीं होने देगा, कभी आंदोलन करने नहीं देगा। ये सिस्टम जारी रहेगी। सो इसलिए मैंने स्क्रिप्ट तैयार की है, इसमें सब पॉइंट नोटेड किया है। तो मैं रीड आउट करूँगा, फिर बताऊँगा ब्रीफ में। तो सुनना मेरी बात बहुत ध्यान से। मैं विजुअलाइजेशन का भी ट्राई करूँगा ये वीडियो में, तो मेरी बात बहुत ध्यान से सुनना, बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट है। सो मैंने इसका नाम दिया है A Script for Bangladeshi Students in Solidarity with CJP. From the banks of Padda to the streets of Delhi, a call for divine revolution. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Brothers and sisters, students of Bangladesh, sons and daughters of this soil that has drunk the blood of martyrs, look around you. Look at the faces standing beside you. These are not mere protesters. These are not activists seeking temporary reforms. We are the inheritors of a legacy that stretches from the fields of Badr to the streets of Dhaka, from the liberation war of 71 to the present moment. We stand here today not just in solidarity with our brothers and sisters across the border, the brave students of the CJP movement in India who have risen against a system that has betrayed them, but as a warning, as a beacon, and as a call to something far greater than mere protest. On the measurement of our response, the accounting of martyrs. My brothers, before I speak of what must come next, we must count our dead. We must look at the corpses of our brothers and sisters who have fallen between where we stand and where we aim to go. In Bangladesh, how many students have been martyred in our struggles? From the 2018 quota reform movement to the 2024 uprising, how many mothers have lost their sons? How many sisters have lost their brothers? The numbers are not merely statistics. They are the currency by which we measure the intensity of our response. Listen carefully. For this is the mathematics of revolution. If 10 have fallen, we protest with voices raised, we with placards held high, with demands for reform. If 100 have been martyred, we escalate to revolt. We shut down cities. We make the machinery of the state grind to a halt. We become ungovernable. But if 1,000 or more have given their lives, then we are no longer talking about protest or revolt. Then we are talking about war. War against the system itself. War against the very foundations of this colonial apparatus that continues to crush us. Look at our brothers in India. The CJP movements has already seen blood spilled, students beaten, youth disappeared. How many must die before we acknowledge that petitions and peaceful marches will not dismantle a structure built on our subjugation? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "The blood of a Muslim is more precious to Allah than the Kaaba itself." Here, a point to be noted that many of the protesters saw the justice and the thing that Tawheed Islam does stand with. So many of the protesters declaring their shahada today on the fields of your protests. I am seeing it right now. The justice, they are inspired by the justice, and our brothers not jumping into any conclusions. They are standing firm in their judgments. So let's continue. If we value the blood of our martyrs, we cannot settle for half measures. We cannot dishonor their sacrifice with temporary cosmetic changes. Yes, cosmetic changes. The poison tree. Why we reject the colonial system. My brothers and sisters, I must speak a truth that many will find uncomfortable. But the comfortable lies are what brought us here. Look around South Asia. Look at our recent history. Sri Lanka. The Aragalaya uprising of 2022 brought hundreds of thousands to the streets, toppled a government, and then what? The same system remained, the same constitution, the same colonial administrative structure. Today, Sri Lanka is drowning in debt, still ruled by the same class of collaborators. Nepal, the people's movement of 2006 abolished the monarchy, and yet the same feudal structures persists. The same politicians rotate like players in a fixed game. Nothing has fundamentally changed. Kuch nahi badla. And Bangladesh, oh my brothers, look at our own beloved Bangladesh. The 2024 uprising brought down a government system that had ruled for 15 years. The monsoon revolution, they called it. And what happened? The same system remained. The same constitution written in 1972, a document conceived in the shadow of Indian and Western influence. The same as administrative machinery designed by the British Raj. The British empowerment then. The same political parties, merely different faces attached to the same rotten body. Why did they all fail? Because they changed the players but kept the rules of the game. They changed the government but preserved their system. They removed one set of collaborators only to install another. Understand this, my brothers. We are not fighting against a government. We are fighting against a system. आप लोग आपकी हिंदी मूवी में सब जगह में सब जनता लोग बोलते हैं कि हम एक सिस्टम के खिलाफ है, एक सिस्टम के अगेंस्ट स्टैंड लेना चाहते थे बहुत पहले से. तो उस सिस्टम का बात यहाँ पर कर रहा हूँ मैं. We are not fighting against a government. We are fighting against a system. This system was not made for us. It was made by the British to extract wealth from our lands, to divide us along lines that suited them, and to ensure that even after their physical departure, their control remained through mental colonization. The British who had created this system, the same British who partitioned Bengal, who drew lines across our maps that split families and communities, they are not gone. They have merely changed their methods. Today, they speak of democracy and secularism and human rights while continuing to support systems that keep us divided and weak. And here is what they will not tell you. Many of these same powers are now fascinated by Islam. They see the justice of our deen. They see the order that Islam brings. They whisper about it in their think tanks. They study the Khilafah in their universities. Take a note, brothers. They know that the system they imposed upon us is dying, and they are looking for what comes next. Do not be fooled by their words. The political parties of India, of Bangladesh, and of Pakistan, they all belong to the same root. Congress, BJP, Awami League, BNP. They are all different branches of the same poison tree planted by the British. They all operated they all operate within the framework designed to keep us subjugated. 3 number point, the divine alternative. You can express it as a alternative system to the system of the Khilafah. My brothers and sisters, if we are to tear down this colonial structure, we must have something better to replace it. Not another Western import, not another secular experiment, not another rationalist project that divides Muslims along artificial borders. We must return to our system, the system that Allah revealed, the system that created the greatest civilization the world has ever known. Look to the Khilafah Rashida, the rightly guided Caliphate or Khilafah. Look at the system that produced Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman and Ali. May Allah be pleased with all of them. Radiyallahu anhum. These were not kings. These were not politicians seeking power. These were servants of the Ummah who accepted leadership with tears in their eyes. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, when he was given Bayah, he said, I have been given authority over you, and I am not the best of you. If I do well, help me. If I do wrong, correct me. Imagine a Caliph of the Muslim world, Amirul Muminin, is saying that. I'm quoting again. I have been given authority over you, and I am not the best of you. If I do well, help me. If I do wrong, correct me. He lived in a simple house. He patched his own clothes. When he died, he left behind a single camel and a servant, and even those he instructed to be returned to the public treasury. Umar ibn al-Khattab, the man who walked the streets of Medina at night to ensure his people slept with full bellies. The man who said, if a mule stumbles on the roads of Iraq, Allah will ask me why I did not pave the road for it. When the treasures of Persia were opened to him, he wept not from joy, but from fear of accountability before Allah. Usman ibn Affan, who purchased the well of Rumah with his own wealth so that Muslims could have free water, who equipped the army of Tabuk when others held back, who was martyred while reading the Quran, his blood staining its pages. Ali ibn Abi Talib, who gave away his entire inheritance to the poor before accepting leadership, who said, by Allah, I would rather pass a night in wakefulness on the thrones of Sadan than accept the caliphate and do something wrong. By Allah. These were our leaders. This was our system. For 30 years after the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was truly for the sake of Allah and His creation. Transparency, accountability, humility, service. These were not slogans. They were lived realities. And this system continued for centuries. The Umayyads, the Abbasids, the Ottomans each carried the torch of the Khilafah, bringing justice, knowledge and civilization to the world, while Europe was in its dark ages. Our cities had street lights, universities, public hospitals and systems of justice that protected the weak from the strong. The living proof, our brothers in Afghanistan. My brothers, some will say, this is history, this is nostalgia. The world has changed. I say to them, look to Afghanistan. Look to the Islamic Emirate established by the Taliban. Who are the Taliban? The word itself means students. These are men who studies in madrasas, who learned the Quran and Sunnah, who fought for 20 years against the greatest military powers in the world has ever seen, and they prevailed. They are not perfect. They are human beings who make mistakes, but they have done what we must do. They have rejected the colonial system imposed upon them. They have established governance based on the Sharia. They have appointed leaders from among those who did not seek power but accepted it as a burden of responsibility. When Mullah Omar was offered leadership, he did not campaign for it. He did not seek it. He accepted it because the people gave him Bayah, pledged allegiance to him, because they saw in him piety, knowledge, and a willingness to sacrifice. This is the key, my brothers, Bayah, the pledge of allegiance. Not elections that can be rigged, not political parties that can divide us, but a covenant between the ruler and the ruled based on the Quran and the Sunnah, with responsibility in the world and the next. The Taliban have shown that even in the 21st century, the Islamic system can function. They have brought security to a land that only knew war. They have eradicated opium production, something the Americans and their puppets could not do in 20 years. They have established courts that resolve disputes quickly and justly, without the corruption of the old system. They are our brothers. They are students like us, students of the Quran, students of the Sunnah, students of the reality that only Islam can bring true liberation. The warning: do not repeat Bangladesh's mistake. My brothers and sisters, I must speak plainly about what happened in our country, in our own country, Bangladesh, in 2024. The uprising was magnificent. The courage of our youth was unmatched. We brought down a government that seemed immovable. The world watched in awe as students faced bullets but didn't flinch. But then we made a fatal error. We allowed the same system to remain. We allowed interim governments appointed by the same elites. We allowed secular leaders, products of the same colonial education system, believers in the same failed ideologies, to take the reins. And now look around you. The same economic problems, the same corruption, the same division, the same drift toward subservience to foreign powers, the same secularism that follows out our identity and leaves us imitating our former colonizers. Do not make this mistake again. If the CJP movement in India escalates, and it must escalate, for the system will not reform itself. Do not settle for a change of faces. Do not accept another government within the same framework. Do not allow another interim arrangement that preserves the colonial constitution. When you give Bayah to a leader after the struggle, make sure that the leader is committed to changing the system entirely. Make sure they understand that the Khilafah is not a dream of the past but a necessity for the future. Make sure they are willing to uproot the British imposed administrative machinery and replace it with governance based on the Quran and Sunnah. Do not accept a secular leader who will tell you that religion and politics must be separate. Never. ये कभी भी मत करना भाई. Religion and politics must be separate. ये जो बोलेंगे उसका नियत ही कुछ अलग होगा. A concept that has no basis in Islam and has brought only disaster to the Muslim world. Do not accept a nationalist who will divide you along linguistic or ethnic lines. Do not accept a Western educated elite who will implement the same failed policies with new branding. 6, the point number 6, the call to action. My brothers and sisters, I conclude with this. The CJP protests in India are not isolated. They are part of a wave that is sweeping the Muslim world and beyond. From the Maghrib to the Mashriq, from the streets of Cairo to the mountains of Yemen, from the universities of Tehran to the madrasas of the Kandahar, the youth are rising. इसलिए हमारा मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने यूथ को अलग ही पावर बोला है. But we must rise with wisdom. We must rise with clear objectives. We must rise knowing that half measures will only bring us back to this same point in another generation. Count your martyrs. Let their blood be the measure of your commitment. If the Indian government kills 10 of our brothers, demand the fall of ministers. If they kill 100, demand the fall of the government. If they kill 1,000, demand the fall of the system itself. And be prepared to establish what comes after. Reject the colonial framework. Do not be fooled by calls to restore democracy or return to the constitution. These are traps. These are well-known traps. The constitution is the problem. The system is the problem. The very concept of nation states imposed upon us is the problem. Establish the Khilafah or any righteous leadership. Look to the model of the Rashidun Caliphs. Appoint leaders who fear Allah more than they desire power. Give them bayah. Change the system with conditions that they rule by the Quran, that they establish justice, that they live simply and serve the people, that they are accountable to the Ummah. Learn from Afghanistan. Support your brothers there. As they have broken the dilemma, let it be. Let us talk freely. They have shown that it is possible. They have shown that our students can change the world when they are sincere to Allah. And above all, do not repeat Bangladesh's mistake. Do not settle. Do not compromise with the system. When victory comes, and it will come inshallah, for Allah has promised victory to those who struggle in His path. Make sure you have something worthy of the blood that was spilled to achieve it. Allah says in the Quran, and we have already written in the book after the previous mention, that the land is inherited by my righteous servants. Surah Al-Anbiya ayat 105. A point to be noted here: we are not claiming like the Jews that we are promised 1,000 years ago. No, we are not saying that we are promised 3,000 years ago. We are claiming what is and what was ours from Adam to right now. This land, Bangladesh, India, all of South Asia, it is our inheritance. But we inherit it not as slaves to a colonial system, but as servants of Allah, establishing His justice on earth. The martyrs are watching us. Their blood cries out from the ground. Will we honor it with half measures and compromises, or will we honor it with a revolution that changes everything? The choice is yours. The time is now. Wama tawfiqi illa billah. There is no success but Allah.